Welcome back to Phoenix Flavors. I'm Jay Vetter. I'm the executive chef here at Elon University, and today I'm excited to say we're joined by Chef Myles Hamilton. Chef Myles is the chef at Clohan, and what are you gonna make for us today, Myles?
All right, so today for you, I have a Portobello mushroom burger with a chimichurri and a roasted red pepper aioli.
That sounds really good. This is vegan?
Yeah, it's vegetarian.
Vegetarian, all right.
Vegetarian, yeah. So, all right. So first we want to get started with taking out portobello mushrooms. So with these, I like to first remove the stem. As well, I like to clean out the gills because the gills is what contains a lot of the moisture. So I want to just take a spoon, any kitchen spoon, and you can just scrape out the gills like that. It's okay if the mushroom gets a little broken up. You just want to make sure you get as much of that as possible so you can get a nice sear on the mushroom.
And Myles, are you vegan or vegetarian yourself?
So I'm actually vegetarian. I eat eggs, so I can't classify myself as being vegan.
All right. And Chef Myles has really elevated the vegetarian and vegan program on campus as well as at his location at Clohan.
Yeah, it's been fun transitioning from being, I guess, non-vegetarian to vegetarian and trying to create different recipes that I like to eat when I was eating meat and transposing them to something that vegetarians can eat. So after that, I just want to set those to the side. Then I want to get started on the marinade that I'm gonna put the mushrooms in. So we want to do, it's a pretty simple marinade. So we're going to take a little bit of thyme and rough chop that. And with mushrooms, they act as a sponge, so whatever flavors you add to it, and the more flavors you add, the more flavorful the mushroom is going to be. I just want to take the thyme and stems and everything and just give it a rough chop.
Are there other types of mushroom you could use for this? I mean, I know you're using the portobello just because of the size to go on the bun, right?
Yeah, you can also use oyster mushrooms. If you get a nice sized cluster of oyster mushrooms, that also works very well. Oyster mushrooms actually taste more like chicken. So if you want to do like a mock chicken sandwich, you can use oyster mushrooms as well for that.
Any new things you're working on at Clohan this year for this semester?
We're going to try to elevate what we already were doing to take it to the next level with adding more sauces, just more fun things to the station, like action station, different sandwiches that we had last semester, but try to, take it up a couple of notches.
Can't wait.
So in the bowl, we have the crushed herbs. We're going to take a little bit of salt. We're going to take a little pepper. Then we're going to take some olive oil to it as well. And then we're going to take some balsamic vinegar. A couple globes of that. Also, I like to add a little acid just to cut through some of the earthiness of the mushroom. So I'm going to take 1 lemon. Give it a nice little roll. Add that to the marinade as well. Yeah, this marinade you can use with a bunch of different vegetables. It doesn't have to be just mushrooms. It's a basic, I guess, a vinaigrette that you can use and toss a lot of different vegetables in if you're going to grill or anything like that. Just give it a little whisk. And while I'm doing that, we can turn on the burner to medium heat or so, medium high. Give it a nice whisk.
So how long are you gonna let those mushrooms marinate?
So I like to do a couple hours before, because again, like I said, the mushrooms act as a sponge. But if you let it marinate too long, then it starts to break down and gets absorbs too much of the water and the oil. It just doesn't taste good. So a couple hours, maybe 2-3 hours beforehand, works best for that. So you just want to add the mushrooms to the marinade, give them a nice little coat all around, and like that. Yeah, you want to just set that to the side. While that's going on, we can go ahead and get started on the chimichurri.
All right.
All right, so now we're going to get started on the chimichurri. For that, we're going to take a bunch of fresh herbs, a little bit of citrus, salt, pepper, a little cumin, combined together, and it's a nice topping for the mushroom because it brings out the earthiness and adds a nice, vibrant flavor to it. So first, we're going to take a little bit of parsley. I like to use just the tops. You don't have to go through and pick it because it is a rough chop kind of dressing. I'm just going to chop it anyway.
Do this in the food processor?
You can as well. But I like to taste the herbs, so I like to do it by hand just to get a little more mouthfeel as well. So you just want to take your parsley and bunch it up, and you just want to go through it with your knife, not too many times, because again, you want to have some type of a mouthfeel. So you go through it once that way, and then you can go through it one more time. So like with this chimichurri, you can use it on, it doesn't have to be mushrooms, you can use it on like steaks, chicken. It works really well with grilled meats as well. So it's just a good condiment to have in your arsenal.
In your arsenal. Nice.
Parsley. You want to take a little cilantro. So for cilantro, I like to use leaves and stems, because there's actually a lot of flavor in the stems of the cilantro. So I do the same thing like I did with the parsley, just bunch it up, roll it, and I give it a nice little rough chop. Then back one leg.
Is this something you can do ahead, this part of it? You can make the chimichurri ahead?
Yeah, the chimichurri can actually, you can make the day before or a couple hours before, right after you're done marinating your mushrooms. You can go ahead and just make your chimichurri as well. And the cilantro. I'm also got a little bit of oregano. For the oregano, I don't want to use the stems. I want to use mostly the leaves for this one, because the stems could be a little woody. So this one you want to pick off a good amount of leaves. And then you want to do the same thing with this. Roll it in a nice little bunch and just give it a nice little chop. Add that to your bowl. Then you want to take maybe 2 or 3 cloves of garlic. That also you can do depending on your taste in garlic. I'm kind of a fan of garlic, so I'm gonna put a little bit more.
I like it.
So with this, you want to just do like a nice little mince. So I just go one way, slice it. And I just go the other way and cut it again. And I do that with each clove. If you want, you can also add other like onions or shallots or anything else you want to it as well. I just like to keep it a little more simplistic since I'm putting also a lot of flavors into the mushrooms. I don't want to overpower the palate. There you go, got minced garlic. Just add that to the bowl as well. Then we like to take a lemon. I like to take 1 lemon. We're gonna roll it. The reason why we roll it is to release the citrus and juice inside and to get a better squeeze on it. Give that a roll.
Myles has a lot of experience with juicing fresh citrus.
Yeah, we juice our own oranges to make orange juice in the morning at Clohan.
Yeah, all the fresh juices now at Clohan. We remove soda. We were excited about that, so now Myles does some fresh juices, fresh squeezed orange juice, like you said. We do. What else do you do?
So we have a green juice that has kale, ginger, green apple, and like apple juice. It's really good. And then we also have a beet juice, which features beets, carrots, and apple juice as well.
And this past semester, we started featuring Ray and Lou Dairy at Clohan as well.
Yeah.
It's a local dairy, small, about 50 cows, and he makes amazing chocolate milk, and the students kind of go crazy over that. It's really rich.
So to that, once you juice your lemons, you're gonna wanna add a little bit of salt as well to it. A couple teaspoons, a little bit of pepper. And I like to add a little bit of cumin to kind of bring out the spices and everything. Then we want to add some olive oil to that as well. Maybe a couple tablespoons. And we're just going to give that a mix. You can adjust how much olive oil you need to add to the bowl. So now we're just gonna wanna go ahead and sear off the mushrooms. You wanna see a little bit of smoke coming out.
Top down, or?
Yep, top down. This is what the mushrooms look after they've been marinated for a couple hours. Those mushrooms, they don't take a long time to cook. Maybe I would say 5-6 minutes, depending on how your flame is. You still want to have some type of chew in it to give it some texture, but you don't want to have it raw. You just want to set it in the pan and just let it go. It will release from the pan when it's ready to go. Now you just want to, it's been a couple minutes, you want to check the mushroom, see how it's going. And you see you get a nice little sear on the outside of the mushroom, that's what you're looking for.
Smells really good in here now.
I'll flip it over. And yeah, it's all the fresh herbs in there. Yeah. Flip it over, get a nice sear on it. You want to let that go on that side for a couple minutes as well.
We'll get your bread ready over here.
Cool. So I'm using just a ciabatta bun.
Yeah.
So I think it holds up better to all the flavors that we're going to throw at it. Yeah. On the side, I also have a roasted red pepper aioli.
Can you smear that on there for you?
Yeah. And the mushrooms, as you can see, they've shrunken in size. About half. That was all the liquid that released from the mushrooms. And you want to just give it a nice little push. You can see that it's nice and tender on the inside, but not too firm, and it's also not complete mush. So at this point, you turn off the flame, and you'll be ready to put up your sandwich.
We're about ready to eat.
So you just take the mushroom out the pan, you just place it right. I like to do upside, so the chimichurri will have a spottiness inside the sandwich.
A little chimichurri on there for you?
Yes, sir.
Nice. There you go.
There you go. And just top it, and
We'll slide it back here.
you have yourself a vegetarian or vegan mushroom sandwich.
Chef Myles, thank you for sharing this recipe with us, and thank all you guys for joining us again on Phoenix Flavor.